Hello and welcome to the Brick Freaks. Today we have a set from the company TGL out of their technology series. Yes, a 1x6 Porsche 911. A 1x6. We all knew the 1x8s. I've built here on the channel 40 of them, I don't know, enough. And I was a little bit bored by the 1x8 cars. And then I saw this 1x6 supercar. It's not a Porsche 911 because, yeah, obviously they wanted to pay money to Porsche. And we have 5.5K on pieces here. And model number is T5037. So that's the bag. And you see this is a pretty big instructions for Chinese companies. This is a normal Lego instructions for 2,500 pieces. We have 350 pages and the assembly takes 339. Then the set is finished and we have 13 building steps. You can motorize this, you can put power functions on this. I didn't order them. We will see if this was a good decision or not. Okay, now you see some of the assembly parts and then I tell you my opinion. Is this set a good set or is it just big? Oh, building step 1 is done and it's a little bit unusual. So the beginning of the car here, the 1x8 cars normally begins a little bit different. Okay, here we have the drivetrain differential with two medium-sized, for me totally new looking gears, and the big one that's directly above it. Perhaps this has better torque or something, I don't know. But we will see. Okay, this is the drivetrain. Normally here in this empty box at the moment and this empty box here, they would sit the two XL motors to go directly here to the drivetrain. This here later on, I'm pretty sure will be extended to the wheels. Underneath we have an interesting thing here with the two warm gears, and at the moment I don't know exactly for what the purpose of this construction is, but we will see later on. Piece quality is okay. It's a B minus sometimes. Some of the pins are very hard to push in. So it's not so comfortable like the new mold, like the old Mold King pins, not the new Mold King pins. But nice is we have two of the big yellow frames here. And I believe there are still 3 more in the set. Okay, so a lot of the big frames if you need them. And like I said, the building technique is a little bit different than I'm used to it, but that's the fun of the set and I hope I get some fun of the set. Now building step 2. Now we have assembled 4 frames here and the whole thing with all the warm gears goes underneath everything. It's driven here with this gear. Here we can change between 4-wheel drive and if we want to attach the front wheel drive or detach it, here we can change it from 4-wheel to 2-wheel drive. So, okay. What I have to say is it makes a lot of fun. It's different than the 1x8 cars, but you need really a little bit experience and perhaps smaller fingers than me. I am nearly 2 meters and it's not 1 or 2 times, it's 7, 8 times where it's not easy to bring on the pins or the axles because you don't have the space. Or you have to fat fingers or something like that, you know what I mean. I'm used to this with MOGs or sets from other companies, but normally it's 1 or 2 times. Here it's a little bit more often, so You need some experience for the set, not because it's complicated, because, yeah, it's not easy to get to the things you want to get to. Oh, building step 3 is done, and you see we got a lot more on width. It's really, really big car. We got the first blue metallic Technic beams here. Alone in building step 3 were over 20 of these smaller Technic frames here, over 20. Oh, this is incredible. This is an incredible set. Okay, I covered one mistake. So here over this gear, the mechanism goes to here, to left and right. And if I turn it, the adjustment here of our seats is drying forward or backward. Nice gimmick. But the gears, this here and this here, they have to be in the same direction. In the instructions, the right gear, here, this one, is on this side, and the grounds are facing outside, like here. The gears inside and the grounds are facing outside. And then the mechanism is functional then, but when you turn, one seat goes forward, one seat goes backward. So you have to, and I believe that's not the purpose of this mechanism, so you have to change one of the gears that they're facing into the same direction, and then you don't have the problem. The problem overall is here, like I said, to reach the parts or to get access to the points, you have to bring on axles or gears. And from that perspective, this is the worst set I have ever built. Normally I have this 2-3 times perhaps. Mockers or the other designers from companies are looking that it's not only for really small hands or that is made manageable without tools. That's not the case here. Here are at least 15-20 times where you nearly can't get to the point where you have to get through. And oh man, here you see these two big tan gears, and they are sitting in here, and this was all covered, and I had to bring on here, okay, not everything here in front, but it was nearly totally built around, and I had to put on the gears and bring it into the right position and bring from here the axle right in. That was not easy. That was not easy. And there are a lot of things like that. What cool is here, these long axles, they are carbon fiber. These are carbon fiber axles, and I believe this is a carbon fiber axle. No, this is a normal one. Two smaller ones are sitting inside here. Okay. To give you an overview how frustrating this set could be. Okay, we have now a nice boxer motor, and it's in the real position that it should be. But what I want to show you here, come on. You see this yellow axle here? You push this from here through this black gear. You put in the black gear, that's no problem. And the right gear here, this one, is already assembled, the vertical one. But the horizontally one, this, you have to bring on in here, push the axle and secure that you hit the X-hole. And you see, there's not much space to do this. So this was now again 3 or 4 minutes, and over the set with 30-40 passages like that, you have really 3 to 4 more hours of assembly than usual. Now step 4 is done and brought us here the back. I don't know, the back axle and yeah, the fake suspension, because nothing goes in here. It looks cool. but yeah, it has no really purpose. And we have the first hint how high this car will be. And even these parts here look very nice with the blue metallic. Okay, next building step. I believe we will get now the front axle. That would be no, still no front axle in the next building step. We cover the engine. Building step 5 is done and brought us here a cover for the engine, for the motor. I opened it for the German version. So you still see the motor block, and it's still a very odd motor because there are these pieces in between. That looks, yeah, it fits from the size now with the 6-cylinder boxer motor, but the motor looks very, very odd in my opinion. So okay, they could have taken a 12-cylinder, but there's no Porsche with a 12-cylinder, at least no 911. So I can understand the compromise, but it looks odd. But now it's covered, and that's okay. Another thing that will be too small perhaps is this here for a 1x6. It's made for a 1x8. We will see in the end how this looks. And still here we have many, many buildings techniques where you poorly get access. So it's really hard to build this set. And I'm not sure if everything will work at the end, because there are so many gears and axles. And especially a lot of these small small 10 gears. And there's so much force on the whole set when I turn it. I'm not really happy, but we will see. Perhaps it works out.
Oh, sorry for the different sound, but the original sound got lost. Okay, building step 6 is finished. Yes, and here we did a lot. We covered the back engine. We did a part of the roof. We assembled the fenders on the left, on the right, and the fake suspension and everything. We have here black transparent panels, and the really cool thing is now we see in the first time here this metallic blue. And yes, not each panel and each Technic beam has the same blue, but that's normal with such metallic color pigments. It's normal. You never get the same, but it looks astonishing. And now we have the final width of the car.
Oh, building step 7 brought us here the hex spoiler. This part is slightly darker, and this part is very it hurts in the eye darker. But it should be no problem, because one of these is on a different place here in the set. So perhaps it's the best in the beginning to open the bags and look for different colors. Same here, it's not all. This here is slightly darker. Okay, the gold pieces have a very nice quality. These are prints to give it a carbon look fiber, or a carbon fiber look. Carbon fiber look. Okay. So overall, this is impressive here. Our next building step is done. 8 brought us this here. We covered that here with all the slopes, a little bit of the to open. I believe here should be stickers of the navigation system, and here should be a sticker that looks a little bit like carbon or something like that. And yeah, structure here is new. And the 2 seats. And they are really interesting made. And here we have another length, 22 or 21 length axle, carbon axle, that goes till here. So man, I never built a car with that much gears and axles, and yeah. Wow, okay. for 5 more building steps, 9, 10, 11, 12 and 13. Building step 9 brought us the doors, the very massive doors. I did a mistake, or I don't know if I did a mistake, but for me it's so, when the seats are in front, the doors are closed. And when I turn this here, the seats will be moving backwards and the doors will be open. Perhaps it's meant the other way, I don't know. And if I'm honest, I don't care, because I think this mechanism is, you need a lot of pressure here, a lot of force. And you do this 1 or 2 times to show it perhaps your best friends that are interested in brick sets. The rest of our friends thinks we are stupid to play with such things. We all know. But motorized, okay. I believe motorized, it's a cool function. But to do it with your hands, and you need a lot of force and it takes a lot of time. Yes, not really necessary. And the other thing is, it was really a pain in the ass from 1 to 5 to get all the gears connected. I told you enough. But it still happens that you are swearing because you don't get to the things you should easily. It's always the hard way. It's really hard to assemble a set, and I'm really happy when I finish the last 4 building steps.
Another file where the sound got lost. Oh man. Yeah, I hate my handy on my smartphone sometimes. Okay, then the last of the big yellow Technic frames is assembled. Here steering, the first possibility of the steering is assembled. We have the same big differential with the big yellow crowns, with the big yellow gears, the medium one and the really big yellow one. Yeah, it seems to be a pretty sturdy steering here. And the other things are for the, what you see are for the height adjustment. The gear here is for the mechanism with the doors and the seats. I assembled there the final part of the driver's cabin here in front, and now I turn it and show you the height adjustment. I hope it's working, but it's a long way. It's really a lot of gears, a lot of axles, a lot of force on the parts. I don't know if the height adjustment of the suspension will work later on.
So, in the mouth of madness. Building step 11 is done. You see here front axle, suspension, everything. And again, you building everything to, so there's only one little slot. And in this slot you have to bring on again the small 10 gear, push an axle from above through another gear. And man, now I'm pretty sure this set is from, the designer of the set is the same guy that invented these blower machines for all the falling leaves. You know what I mean? I don't know the term of these things. In German they are called Laubbläser, but it's pretty sure there's an English word for it. And the only reason for that kind of invention was to get on the nerves of sleeping people at 7 o'clock in the morning, when the other guy thinks, I have to be awake and working, so I use this one here, this blower. And the only thing you do is blowing things, leaves from left to the right and from right to the left. So yeah, it's very annoying. And this set here sometimes too. Now building step 12, the hood here. I believe this is for, yes. Okay. These here, the dark one should be better here and the bright one better there, but okay. It is what it is. Nicely here the hood with the prints, that's okay. And the form is nice. Here we have gaps, but okay. I have seen worse gaps on Technic cars. And yeah, building step 12 was yeah, sometimes frustrating as a lot of the other building steps. Hey, but I managed it. Okay. Not much to do, I hope. 20 minutes, half an hour. So, after nearly 20 hours of assembly and losing my mind and my will to life, it's done. The 1x6 TGL Porsche 911. Man. Okay, you've seen my agony in the assembly videos. And you know, I'm mostly polite. Private, I'm often a hefty swearing guy. But in the videos, I try not to get my emotions the full ride. And I hope I did this well during the assembly. But this is pain in the... Yes. We have 66 centimeters in length, 17 centimeters in height, and 32 centimeters in width. So 66 centimeters multiplied by 6. So that's around the length of a Porsche 911. This looks like a Porsche 911 GT2 or GT3 or GTR or RS or one of the racing variations of the 911. Okay, so let's get through. You've seen the assembly, you've seen the pictures of the assembled car. This is the sticker sheet. I've not used. First, instructions. Yeah. A C, B minus C. It's okay. Sometimes it could be, the angle could be better or the size of the skids could be better, but it's okay. If you don't finish this car, it's not instructions, it's a car. It's not instructions. They are not very good, they are okay. I've seen better ones, I've seen worse ones, so okay. There are some little small mistakes in the instructions, but forget about this. There's so much with the set that the instructions are not really the problem of the set. Okay. Piece quality, good. B minus. No problems. The blue pins are sometimes a little bit hard. The carbon fiber axles are a little bit hard sometimes to push through the stoppers or through the gears. But overall everything connects well, nothing is loose, so it's okay. The blue, this really cool blue metallic looking, what's the eye catcher, the size and the color is the eye catcher of the set, is gorgeous. Some people perhaps say, okay, it's not the same blue. It's not a review from Frank if I don't rob something of the car. We have 4 or 5 slightly different blue tones in the set, but that's the blue metallic pigments. You can't get them. I've done a lot of furniture laminating with epoxy and with metallic colors, and every table looked different. Even if I get the same drop or amount of epoxy and the same amount of color, each look different. So that's with the metallic pigments in the color. There's no other way to do it. You have to live with that, but it looks gorgeous. And it's really molded with full, the ABS is full with this metallic. It's not sprayed or powder, you know what I mean, powder, I don't know the English term. Not the rims. The rims are made with powder. So inside they are yellow, only outside they are gold. But they are nice rims, and they are, with the 1x8 cars, you have a lot of space. Here not, they are really filling it up. So this looks really gorgeous. Okay. We have nice looking carbon fiber pieces. It's absolutely okay. This car looks really, really, really well. And it's really recognizable. Everybody who knows, has ever seen a Porsche 911 will recognize this car, so that's okay. The assembly process, living hell. 20 hours. Normally I assemble in this time 2 or 3 1x8 cars. I assembled one 1x6 car. It is horrible. I don't know what the designer thought. I'm pretty sure that the guy who invented the wheat blower, it's not wheat, it's leaf blower, wheat blower, the leaf blower to blow the leaves from A to B and again from B to A. The only purpose of the leaf blower is to get on the nerves on sleeping people and to get them mad and to hell. And the same guy invented this car. It's horrible. 80% or 90% of the time you're happy and everything is okay. And the other 10% are living hell. I really lost my will to live. You've seen the assembly parts. So many parts where you have to use tools to get the pieces there. I don't know what the guy has thought about the assembly of this set. Really, this is only for people with a lot of resistance against frustration. I did it, but I really thought sometimes I throw it into the trash bin or I jump out of the window. But okay, after 20 hours, 20 hours! That was nearly the time I needed for the 12,000 pieces tow truck. And this time, this thing here is more complicated than the tow truck. Okay. So, like I said, you really have to be resistance against frustration, or you a sadomaso person, then this is your car. Absolutely your car. So, okay, if you've done the assembly, not lost your mind, not jumped out of the window after 20 hours or perhaps 18 if you're faster and not making videos, you've done it. And then you want to see the functions. Okay, it drives, not very well, but it drives. Here is a switch. We can change between 4-wheel drive, 2-wheel drive and 4-wheel drive. That works well. The motor, the engine, the really ugly looking boxer engine, because it's extended, it looks totally off and really ugly, is covered, but it's attached to the driving, so it works, no problem. To the steering attached is here, the spoiler could wobble a little bit from the left to the right. But in my case here, I see the axle turning, but it's not really moving. But forget about this. Okay, then we have two other functions. One is here in the middle, and it lowers and raises the whole car to get more room here to push up the suspension. That works not on mine here. I don't know. It's so complicated, the mechanism, and so stretched over the whole car, and a lot of 19-degree angled little gears So the whole energy of my turning this here is sucked out of the system because of the length and a lot of gears involved. I seen a German YouTuber, Krümel, he did the power functions versions, and there it works, it goes up and down. But here it turns, but nothing happens. I don't know if what part does not really work, I don't know. I turned this here for 5 minutes and I see the gears slowly moving. Now it's finished, no, more, now it's finished, but nothing happens. I see the gears moving and I see the axles moving, but the height of the suspension don't change. I don't know. But I can tell you that the idea is not good. To do this over this length with so many gears, I was not surprised that it's not working. Because it's too much pressure, too many 90 degrees angle, too many small gears. That's not very good for such a force-sucking mechanism over the whole length. So forget about this. And I think this looks the best if it's really down. It's a Porsche 911, it's a street car, a street racing car. This is a racing car. So we don't need a lot of space here. We don't need really a suspension. You see, this works, it goes up and down, but it don't works with the mechanism. It don't works with the mechanism. With the power functions version, yes, but I don't know if I made a mistake here or it's just the construction. But I believe it's the construction. Okay, next mechanism here under the hood. When I turn this, the chairs are sliding backwards and the doors are opening. So, but again, you really need force and a lot of time because this mechanism is sucking. If you do this with power functions, then it's okay. And it's only several seconds and it works. So the thing is, when the doors are not, when they are a little bit too pushed in, they won't open with the mechanism. It's not so much force that it's really pushed out. So you see, the seats are moving backwards slowly, but the doors don't really open well. So am I at the end? Oh, I did this in the German version and I was really new. So you see, it's not, it slides open then, but not from alone. But when it's open and I go the other direction to move the seats forwards, then it slowly closes the door. So it works, not perfectly and not good to open, but good to close. In the video of Krümel, who assembled the power functions version, his seats are different. Mine is, seat is going back, doors are opening. And I think that's the best way, because it's going back and I have more room to go out of the car or to enter it. And to close it, and then I go to the driving position. With him it's different. Total opposite. It goes forward and then it opens. So I don't know. But I believe this version is better. And you see, it works. It really closes. So, but I do it this way. So we have 5 functions: driving, steering, air or steering brake, air brake, suspension and seats. 3 of 5 are working, in my version at least. In the power functions version from Krümel everything worked. But to be honest, this set is just a display set. The functions are a gimmick. You do this one time and then your thumbs are hurting from turning the gear. Or if you did it power functions, then you're thinking, Okay, it drives, it steers. You do it 15 minutes. You're playing with the car and then it goes on the shelf and you put a lot of money in power functions for a set that you use 2 times in a lifetime for a little bit driving and showing perhaps your best friend the suspension movement and the seats movement. That's a gimmick. And you use it 2 times, 3 times in your life. So this is a display set for me. All the functions, doesn't matter. It looks cool. It has really cool and good pieces. It's an astonishing work, but it's a display set. So for who is the set? The set is for people who like to be punished, who have a really high resistance against frustration, or people who want the parts. And for that, that's a cool set. You're getting this really nice, unique looking metallic pieces. You're getting the big differentials with the big crowns. Oh, you get 1x6 rims. You get flat, nice tires here. You get golden parts. This is a good set from the pieces. You get these cool carbon looking things. You can really assemble another cool looking car out of this. Perhaps with working functions. Okay, so like I said, this is for pros, for people who want to give up their life, or for people who need the parts for another set, or people who like it as a display set. Okay, write me in the comments, what do you think about it? Is this a cool looking set? I believe it's cool looking. Is this a good to assembly set? Would you buy this? And for what? For what reasons? For display or for using? And do you think it's a good idea to make 1x6? Because this here blocked my channel for 10 days. So that's normal people who buy 4 or 5 sets a year. You get really a lot of time for your money. You really get a lot of time for your money. Okay, thank you for watching. I'm Frank and I catch you in the next one. Bye bye.